Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome the lovely Kia from Golden Launch Creative.
Hi,
Kia do it.
everybody.
Today's talk is about how a strong personal brand gives designers clarity and better clients with Kia Dyson. And I wanted to do this talk because I was in one of my meetups in London, and one of the people that had come along was saying that they feel like sometimes as designers we neglect our own websites, and I feel that to be true. And I saw Kia talking at Circle Day about personal branding, and I think personal branding as designers is really important. You might not offer branding yourself, you might just be a designer only, or you might be here and you're a small business owner. I might have a lot of coaches because I work with them online today, and you want to learn a bit more about branding, personal branding. But it's something that sets you apart, helps people buy from you and know you, know, like, trust, all of that. I'm not going to try and take all of the keynotes from your talk now, but that's why I think it's important. And I'm going to hand you over now to lovely Kia so she can give her presentation.
My talk is pretty much like a story. So I'm just going to tell a quick story about how I got here. So I want to start by being like completely honest with everyone today. So leading up to today, I felt just like a little bit overwhelmed, and like not in a dramatic way because my friends know I can be extremely dramatic, but just in a very real and a very quiet way. That kind of happens when your capacity gets stretched a little thin with client work, preparing for this, showing up for my business, showing up for my family. And at some point, it all starts just competing for a very small amount of space. And I'm telling you this because the entire premise of my talk is about authenticity. And personal branding at its core is about being real and about letting people see you. And I can't sit here and talk about showing up as yourself if I'm not willing to do it first. So here I am, a little stretched, a little nervous, always, and completely committed to this conversation because I think you need to hear it. I need to hear it. And I just needed to give this talk, honestly. So, with that being said, I want to tell you a little story about myself and how I got to this space. So, before I was a web designer, I was building visual worlds. But if I'm being honest, it started way before. So, I grew up in Baltimore, and Baltimore is a paradox in the best way. You could spend time with a restaurant owner and a dirt bike rider all in literally the same day. Or you could walk past an abandoned building and it would be more beautiful than anything that was intentionally made. And my grandmother, she had flair. And my mother, she had this quiet elegance. And the city just had a grit and grace living right next to each other. And this is what made me. So I absorbed all of that. And that is how I became the person I am today, honestly. So I absorbed all of that. And as a young person, I just had a knack for noticing things and for putting things together, for seeing what something could look like if you just applied a little intention to it. And then that's when I realized that my personal brand was forming. I did not have a name for it. I didn't have a logo. I didn't have a color palette, but I had an eye and a point of view. And that's what was already there. It eventually led me to fashion styling and photography. And from there, I started creating editorial shoots, directing models, thinking about composition, color, story, and every frame was intentional and every image had a point of view. And then I became a web designer and I left all of that behind. I think before I move any further, I want to talk about pretty much like the elephant in the room. And I saw a lot of people saying that they have trouble with their personal style or personal branding. And I know some of you are kind of skeptical, but we are service providers. And at the end of the day, there's an assumption that if the work is good enough, it speaks for itself. And that strong personal brand is either ego or worse, a distraction from actually delivering. And I hear that, and I want to be very clear about what I'm saying. I'm not arguing that personal brand should supersede ability, and I'm not suggesting it overrides quality or replaces craft. But what I'm saying is this: personal brand takes an already good product and shines a light on it. It creates a narrative, and human beings, your clients, your dream clients, or anyone who's ever hired anyone for anything, have always gravitated towards the narrative. Always. So I want to talk about some of like our iconic creators. Let's start with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs didn't just run Apple, he was Apple. The minimalism, the efficiency, the obsession with beauty inside and outside of the product, and the black turtleneck, the denim jeans, you couldn't separate the man from the brand. And then you have my absolute favorite person in the whole wide world, Margiela. Margiela built an entire fashion house around his worldview. Think deconstruction, anonymity, experimentation. And then he later moved into visual art, and it still was unmistakably him, just a different medium in the same energy. And then there's us. So, architects, musicians, directors, chefs, it's almost in every other creative field that a person that work whose work are isn't like pretty much inseparable. Their work, taste, aesthetic, and the way they see the world that is the product. And then there's us, web and brand designers. We're usually hiding. We're the people other businesses pay to build their identity. And we are literally experts at this. Yet most of us are hiding behind a studio and a name and a portfolio grid, hoping the work speaks for itself. And I was doing the exact same thing. So this would be my first iteration of Golden Launch. So when I started Golden Launch, I made a decision that I wanted to completely hide from the brand. It felt logical at the time. I wanted to keep my personal identity completely separate from Golden because most people just knew me as a fashion stylist or a photographer. So I built the brand. It was very soft, very pink, very approachable, rocket ship logo, very like girl boss brand. And I just didn't see myself in this brand at all. It I don't know. I completely hid behind it. And I didn't want people to know that I was the person behind Golden. I just wanted the studio to have its own personality, which sounds strategic until you realize that what I actually was doing was I was afraid of my own brand. So the work was fine, the clients were fine, but I was performing a version of a designer instead of just being one. And the brand didn't feel like home because it wasn't built for me. It was built for who I thought I was supposed to be. And then one day I had a good friend. I don't know if she's in here. Hi, Danielle. She said to me, Kia, you are golden. You are the brand. And I had to sit with that, like truly sit with that. And so I burnt it all down. Literally, I just burnt it all down. Not the business, but just the disguise. And that's when the new Golden Launch was born. It's black, white, yellow, editorial, bold, intentional. I took the same eye that I was using behind a camera and just pointed it at my own brand. It was the same designer, same skills, completely different energy. And because the second brand wasn't just better looking, it was honest, and clients felt that immediately. The work improved, the inquiries improved, everything shifted the moment I stopped pretending to be someone I wasn't. So, yeah, this is more me. But I said all this to say your taste filter is the product. Clients aren't just hiring your technical skills, they're hiring your eye, your judgment, your point of view. And when you hide that, you're hiding your biggest competitive advantage. So now I'm stepping from behind Golden Launch and moving into Kia. So I'm not leaving Golden Launch like altogether, but I'm just moving alongside it fully and out loud. I'm moving into becoming like a creative strategist and using my skills of photography and styling and art direction and strategy just to continue to like be myself and move through the world fully. So before I leave you guys today, and thank you for being patient with me, um, I just want to say that you have a talent that maybe you don't use or you've kept separately from your work. Something you did before the web design, something you do on weekends, something you're a little afraid to bring into the room because you're not sure it belongs. Before you close your laptop today, I want you to take about 60 seconds or 90 seconds and write down one creative talent that you think you can infuse in your business. Just name it. You don't have to tell anyone, you don't have to share it, but just stop pretending it isn't part of you because the most powerful thing you can do for your brand is stop hiding from it. Thank you. And you guys can find me at goldenlaunchcreative.com or kiadyson.com.
Oh, wow. Do you want to stop sharing your screen and just come on so you're a bit bigger? Oh, no, no. Yeah, no, keep that up. Keep that up. If everybody, kiadyson.com. Oh,
All right, sharing.
Kia, I actually just welled up in that. I wasn't
Oh,
expecting that. I don't think that's ever
because I
happened to me. I
remember
just
you
felt really
saying that.
emotional. Um, oh, I still do feel emotional. I think sometimes as web designers, when you said it like that, it's always about the client, which is really important. And what you said, I believe wholeheartedly, but I don't think I can ever say it so movingly or articulately as you do, because I'm always in my how I am, which is a bit more silly and funny and stuff. I think your personal brand is depth. I would definitely say, um, but I think that we do get afraid of showing who we are, and it is really important in whoever's going to hire us, because if somebody has a conversation with you and they connect with you on that level, they're going to hire you, and you need to get that across. Like, uh,
Right.
you should, like, there are people in here going, I'm crying. I don't know why I got like all emotional when you were saying about, um, yeah, just being hidden. I think a lot of us can feel that we hide behind, a website and stuff, and it's quite scary to be vulnerable, and sometimes that's taking a photograph of ourselves as well that we don't want to
I
do.
never wanted to do it. Never wanted to show myself on my like golden launch grid, but it became, I don't know. I feel like people react to me better because I do. And they can see like, oh, I look just like whatever this brand is right here. Because before the pink and all of that, that's just not me. I'm not a frilly girl. So yeah.
So tell me, when did that change? When did you, because I, by the way, for the first 4 years of my business, I didn't like the cobbler's children have no shoes. I didn't like my website either. But do you know what, Kira? I think I was struggling with who I was. I was going for an evolution. I'd got into personal development. That's how I ended up starting my business, because I was looking for a life coach and I didn't connect with any. So then I started looking for life coaches. And during those 4 years, I changed from like this girl that wore bright orange clothes and pink and like was really flowery and a bit didn't had a lot of self-esteem issues, I think. And I did a
Yeah.
lot of work and I had some therapy. And then I moved to the countryside where I'm so happy and I feel so grounded. And then I had a photo shoot with this wonderful woman. And I've never changed my website since, because it just feels like me, because I feel like I know who I am. Like, did you, when you decided to come forward, had you done some work on yourself that you felt like, I know who I am? Or did you know who you were? You were just scared to show it? Or,
Like I had a feeling of who I was, but I just didn't want, because I had like photography clients who like I had stuff in like museums and things like that. So it got to the point I really wanted this to be separate. I didn't want people to associate that with the other thing, but it's like I'm also posting on my grid that I'm using fashion images to extract color stories. Like, this is who I am. Like, these are the things that I like. And then I said, you know what? I want to start showing who I am because I'm a fashion girl. Like, I love it. So it really speaks to the type of clients that I've been working with after I did like various changes of the brand, but it speaks to like the type of clients that I work with who come to me. So now like work is fun.
Yeah. So because you're, and the thing, it's funny, my background, by the way, is fashion.
Yeah, I
I did
remember.
fashion design and photography, but I was very cheesy. You're like so much cooler than I am. But like that reflects in my branding as well. Yeah, like people on here are saying I need a transcript of this this thing. I think we do, but everybody, this is like available to rewatch. I don't think I will be rewatching this talk too. Has anybody got like any questions? Like, can you actually, guys, on the right, there's like a little question mark where the chat box is just below that. That's a question mark. We've still got 5 minutes. If anybody's yeah, Nana's saying middle of doing redoing my website and it's harder than doing others. Like how, like for me the photos were so important, and I did a lot of brand research and like what I wanted my photo shoot to be like.
Same.
Do you feel the same that your photos were? Because like I have a hell of a lot of photos of myself. I mean, like it looks like I'm quite narcissistic. I'm like me. Like you might not have like a million photos on yours, but did that, was that quite a big point of you of how you did your rebrand, was your photographs, or was
I
that like
started with photographs.
you did?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, just dress how you would normally dress. Like, just be yourself. Don't try to be anything else because we tried that. That's not working. And so I started with the photographs. And from there, that's when I started to rebrand my site. Yeah, just rebrand everything. Everything was like yellow and pink. It was just like, no, black and white.
Yeah. Mine was like pink, orange, green, blue. Like, I had
Right.
balloons on mine, like luminous balloons that I'd had at my friend's hen party. I had a picture of that on my fucking
That's
website.
crazy.
But like I think that's what that is what I would recommend to anybody that is redoing their website, because I feel so, I love mine and you love yours, and
Yeah.
both of us started with the photo shoot, and now I know that not might not be the same, because I know some other web designers that, you know, they might have a selfie on their image and it's not a thing, but I know that's that was what worked for
That
me,
can
so it's
speak
not
to
for.
their clientele as well, you know, like not everything has to be polished. And also, I believe that I saw a question that said, I don't like showing myself, but like, what should I do? I think so. What's something that I'm trying to get used to right now is talking on Instagram, right? So
Mm.
creating like video content. I'm good at like photo content, but video content I'm trying to get good at. So if you don't want to show yourself, just talk. Like let them hear your voice, let them hear your personality.
Oh, so you're not actually, you're doing like a voiceover over
Yeah.
something where it's not your face.
Yep.
Yeah, I love those, you know. I always like it when people are
Right.
going, so this is what I do on my day, and I go through here. And that's actually a really lovely way. Okay, we've got a Q&A, but what if we don't like showing ourselves? And what if you're older and don't photograph well anymore? Oh, like you will photograph, but like if that's how you feel, I think that you do have to feel confident, don't you, with what
Yeah.
you're putting on your website. And if you don't feel confident with that, then
Do it.
have you got anything else to say? I'm answering your questions.
No, I completely agree with you. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think though, I do think it's important to have it, you know, because it is a service-based business. Whenever I'm hiring somebody, I'd like to see a picture of them. And if you don't feel confident, what I really would suggest is finding a photographer that feels warm, engaging. That's like got. I always look at the photographer because I do a lot of research for my clients for personal branding photographers for them, and I always go to their about page, and I look and I'm quite spiritual, so I like it if they talk about passion and mission, and somebody said human design the other day. I was like, oh, hiya,
Lucky
and
you. Hmm.
if they make you feel nice, then
Hmm.
just get one headshot. It doesn't have to be lots of pictures, but
It doesn't
then
have to be locked. No, I think I
yeah,
have one picture on my website,
right. But it's
but I
you, right?
use my personality. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's just one picture of you, but it is, yeah, showing you. Is there any other questions?
I didn't see.
Like, I'm so surprised. Like, I am like killing it today on the timing. Um, yeah. Yeah, Kirsten. I actually thought of you, Kirsten, with your. I know that your husband took your photographs around your local hometown, and I think that's lovely as well. Like when it's a loved one that's taking a photograph of you as well, they capture who you are.
Yeah, and I like the idea of using AI to generate your headshot if you just don't feel comfortable right now.
Do
Like we
you see? How are you about that? Because I'm interested about that. Because so I
I'm
don't know how authentic I feel like with it. I'm a bit averse to AI though, so I don't know.
it can make me look exactly like me because sometimes they do like little weird things and I'm like that's not me. So if it can make you look exactly like you, I think use it if that makes you feel more comfortable
Yeah. Okay.
or
Yeah,
until
that
you can like get to a photographer or something.
yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, okay. Well, I think that's everything, everybody. Um, that was really lovely. Thank you so
Thank
much for sharing that with the audience, and I think there was a lot of uh, love for your talk.